Hey, what's up, guys? It's Blitz, represent Stay Active here at Heat Tank. Today we're going to discuss about my breaking journey when I started at 8 years old, going on to the teen dance world, and then becoming a professional instructor / CEO. Therefore, we learned about how to make money and then how to utilize the investment. Stick around, you'll hear more about it. Peace.
All right, y'all, another episode, Heat Tank, and I have with us an iconic figure in the hip-hop community, not just in the city of Austin, not just in Texas, but he's obviously traveled all over the United States, and I believe outside of the United States as well. So what this guy does, he's not just a personal friend of mine, but an inspiration to many, especially nowadays, the youth, and we're going to get into all of that, what exactly he does for them. But this is Blitz, okay? Obviously, as y'all might say, a break dancer, a b-boy, or just a dancer. But Blitz is an all-around, not just a dance icon in the city of Austin, but also an inspiration that people even outside of dance say, man, this guy stays healthy. You know, he's about to hit a certain age. He's still going. But I want to introduce him to y'all and brought him on the show because what he's done is he's turned his love for dance lifelong. I believe probably 8 or 9 years old is when he actually got started or fell in love with it, into actually turning it into money, traveling around, made money, maybe lost money. We're going to hear about the realities of saying, how can I turn my passion into profits? And today, because we're talking about biz and brands, is all about Blitz, the business brand, as well as the personal brand. So let me introduce to y'all Blitz from the ATX.
Hey, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing today?
Already, Blitz. So here's what I want to, the first thing I want to share with people is this, because what caught my attention first of you was probably, and a lot of people don't know this, but, you know, I'm going to obviously say it publicly right now, probably 1997, 1998. We're downtown, okay? I'm a teenager, 17, 18 years old, right around there.
Okay.
And there's a quinceañera going on. And, you know, we were all, you know, we were breakers, we're b-boys, we're dancers. But we were like, you know, more like the rec center kind of.
Yeah, just living in the moment, pretty much.
Yeah. It was cool. It was better to do that than to do other extracurricular activities that got us in trouble. Yeah. So we were just dancing, and once again, we weren't professionals. But anyways, so we're at Buffalo Billiards. I believe we were upstairs, and we're at this quinceañera. We don't even know whose it was, because back in those days, you just show up and you just start breaking and start showing off, and then you bounce.
All that good stuff,
get some phone numbers and bounce.
Great memories,
Yes.
Yeah.
And so there's this dude that walks in, right? And he walks in, and I was like, who's that? I've never seen him before. And then all I remember was he got in the circle and he drilled some 90. So for those of y'all that don't know, technically it's called a 1990. Yeah. A 1990 is when you put, you know, on one hand and you pop up and basically your whole body spins on one hand. You use two, it's called 2000. But anyways, we were all in like shock and awe. This is 20-something years ago. Yeah. We're all in shock, and I don't even remember how many you drilled. Might have only been 5, but it looked like it was 35. I mean, he just kept going and going. Well, it turns out that dude was Blitz, okay? So that's when I first caught wind of who he was, his name, and then obviously over the years we became friends, and you've opened up a bunch of dance studios and such. So now I want to get into not just from that age, 17, 18 years old, but prior to that, how did you get into the dance world and what was your inspiration? And then let's lead up to everything else.
Yeah, so basically, I started at the age of 8. And at the age of 8, I was actually inspired by my older brother, JP.
Okay.
And JP would always do like pop-in and just do like some Galaxy kind of like all-style movement.
How much older was he, by the way?
I want to probably say he's about like 6 years older.
Okay.
And so it was nice to have like a leading kind of like dance partner in the home to build with versus doing it all by yourself. So when that was going on, that was back in like 1988. So it's been a while, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's been since the 80s when we actually really just started the birth of breaking and dancing and just kind of sharing the world what we wanted to do.
Yes.
So after like, second, third grade, I got caught up in a system where I wasn't accepted anymore because of I had a hard of hearing situation.
Okay.
So in my left ear, I didn't have like much like hearing power. So they transferred me to like a special education class.
Wow.
So it was kind of like a heart, changing moment because I wasn't accepted anywhere in the mainstream world.
Yeah, yeah.
So therefore, we started up a dance crew. So the dance crew, we had Marcus, Michael Cavazos, Darius Maxwell, and then we have what's his name, Colin, and
Okay.
then we all just got together and just like started up like a little dance crew.
Okay.
And then you got to keep in mind that we were in a special education class. We had phonic ears, it was like an iPod on you. Back in '88, people were just not ready for that moment. They didn't know how to react. They just thought we were just different.
Yes.
So switching from that world, it was kind of like a depressing moment for me because I was like, man, we were just friends and now we're not friends. So what's the deal? And then at that time, ABC dropped Another Bad Creation.
Okay.
Aisha, y'all need to go check that track out. It was like really fresh. And they were like dancing in the playground and the Running Man. And just like, MC Hammer, Vanilla Ice, and MC Search was coming out around that time. So the dance that time was very powerful. So when I was like talking with my crew, my special education crew, we were like, yo, man, we're going to do something with this. So we started doing the Running Man and just all kinds of moves, backflips, handstands, cartwheels, butterfly kicks, which is a cartwheel with no hands.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a ninja kick.
Yeah, yeah.
Therefore, we took that access and we went out and said, yo, let's go to the playground and just kind of have a good time after lunch. So we had recess time after lunch.
Wild out during lunch.
Yeah. And then it was just a moment where all the joy just came together. All the mainstream kids, all the special education kids, we just came together and they were just like, do that backflip again off the slide. Do that. We used to do like round out backflips on the side. Teachers are like freaking out. They're like, dude, what's going on over here? And then we just like somehow brought the school together. And therefore our passion in dance got even stronger after that moment because we realized that dance has just had a bright side to it. It's something positive that just lit up the whole school. As we progress, I was just thinking, I was like, I want to do something with this. I don't know what I want to do with it, but fast forward till I was about 10 or 11 years old, and I was thinking, like, I want to start, going to team dances and get involved.
Well,
So
was your brother doing that at the time?
my brother
Or
was
he was
already ahead. Yeah, he was already ahead of the game. So
But he was already going to the dances?
he was already going to team
He's
dances.
in the mix. He's in the
He was already
mix.
sneaking in clubs. He was already he was only like 15, 16 and going in 18 up clubs.
Yeah.
Just because he knew how to get in. He knew the
I
door
see.
guy. He knew that, at the time the clubs weren't worried about like IDing people. They just were just kind of like, if you're going to come here and dance, that's cool because we kind of trust what you're doing. So just go to the back door and the other bouncer got you. And then the back bouncer would open the door. He would go up in the club, him and Romeo, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah,
and just
they
have
weren't there to drink.
they
They're not
weren't there to
get
drink.
all bloated
They were
and drink
just
and
there
to
to dance, just bring entertainment, just bring that vibe out. And then that was cool because it was like, I want to do that too, So I always tell my brother, hey, let me come out and come dance with you. And he was like, no,
You're too young.
You're too young. You got to stay in. I was like, all right, well, I'm going to figure out a way. So I found out that local churches around my neighborhood had dances on Saturday nights.
Okay.
So they're bringing like different DJs. Like Lottie Dog could be one of them. Brother K could be another one of them. It was just like all types of DJs that brought in. So
Nick Nack, I think, was really active back in those
too.
days.
Yeah. So many DJs out there I can't even name right now. But at the time, it was just like culture shock because I was like, wow, there's a club, because the church like decorated. It was a community center, but they decorated it to where it was like a club. So it gave you that nighttime vibe. You had the DJs, and then you had the dances, and the dancers come in. I'm hungry. I'm like, yo, I've been waiting for this moment. You know what I mean? I'm 8 years old. Or I was 8, and then like 5 years down the road, I'm like, I'm ready to go show off everything I've been holding back. Yeah. And then going back to what you were talking about earlier, when I broke out that 1990 at the Quinceañera at Buffalo Billiards, that what was going on at the time, 11 and 12. People have never seen a handspin. They were like, we seen a little bit. John from CBS, Capital Soul. He was the Rock. Remember John?
I used to check this out real quick. I used to have a Capital Soul shirt. Yeah. It was maroon, same color as this. It was white. It had the world, and it had the little breakers on it like that.
Yeah.
Because Raymond.
Yeah.
I think Raymond start Capital Soul?
Raymond's actually the co-owner of it.
Okay, co-owner, yeah. Because Raymond was obviously a friend of mine. I didn't know him had like that at the time, but he had started Capital Soul. But long story short, I don't even remember how I got the shirt. I think it was through Armando.
Yeah, Vargas.
I think maybe
yeah.
Armando Vargas,
Yeah,
possibly,
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
But anyways, okay, so that year, I don't know if you remember the year it was at Buffalo Billiards, but prior to that, when did you perfect the 90 and where did you learn it from?
Yeah, so that's a really great question. I actually started learning capoeira,
Yep.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu,
Zoom,
and we
zoom,
get
zoom,
VHS tapes,
cowboy.
coming in from over, like, from Brazil. And back at the time, we had access to record shops.
Yeah.
We had Alien Records, we had Tower Records, and we go to those locations, and those locations will drop Brazilian VHS tapes, and they were capoeira
Oh,
out.
wow.
Like, yo, here's $20. You take that VHS tape, and you're just excited about the moment because you pop it in, and these cats are doing jingas. They're just like doing slow motion 90s, headstands, head
studying
spins,
it.
and they're just kind of fighting each other, but not hitting each other, and just kind of having that dance. And I was looking at that, I was like, that's fresh. I really like that because when I came from my era, I mean, it was really about breaking one, breaking two, Bay Street. It was all like boogaloo,
Style Wars or
yeah,
something.
all that stuff. But I just like that Southern flavor for some reason, and that flavor really brought me out. And I realized right then and there, I was like, I want to be like a capoeira cat, just like dicing and using that. But I didn't go full time with that. I kind of like brought it in and used it as
Merged
part of
it.
a major style, part of my breaking.
Wow.
And then that's what exploded right there because people had never seen that kind of, element. They've always saw like the 6-step, the 8-step, the 4-step, the CCs, the swipes, the backspins, the windmills. But when it came to the hand spins, to a K kick, which is like a handstand, and you take off the left hand, you grab your actual toe, and then you're on just one hand. So basically just imagine doing a hand spin and grabbing one leg, and you're just spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning.
Yeah.
People have not seen that yet. They were like, we're used to seeing the K kick. We barely just got the K kick, and you already spinning, doing the K kick. How does that
They're
work
like,
out?
you want another level, bro.
Man, hard loyalty, practice, and dedication, and especially, having peers around you 100% to show you that, hey, anything's possible, and they practice and they motivate you. I mean, that's all you need right there is that key right there to just keep you going.
Damn. Okay, so now let's fast forward to you're a teenager.
Yeah.
Okay, you're a teenager. Obviously, were you from Austin or right outside of Austin or somewhere around South or whatever, right?
Man, dude. So long story short on that one too. I'm actually I'm a B-boy original from Austin, Texas.
Okay.
So I started off in Rumburg. So I was out in Rumburg, 35. It's North Austin. Back in the days, it was just country. It wasn't like, where it was like city. Now it's city. Now it's just like everything's just mixed up together. So it was just like that exit that we were living on in North Austin, Rumburg. It was just nothing but cows after that.
Oh, wow.
Now it's all like developed to Georgetown with mad businesses going on. So what was your question again?
So when you became a teenager, how what started happening for you when you were a teenager? Now, just fast forwarding a little bit, because if you were going to more things in Austin, like the clubs or the church. I know San Jose used to be a big. That's how I met Eric Mendoza, Tyrone Rollins,
the Floor Masters.
Yeah. All of them. Well, no, they were Boogie Tribe. Wait.
The Floor Masters first before Boogie Tribe.
Okay,
Boogie Tribe was after.
Okay,
so the originality came from Floor Masters, and then where I met those guys was basically going back to Rumburg. We moved from there. My dad bought a house towards South Austin, towards like you want to say like Formula One, the airport. And it brought us there, and what happened was Dance Across Texas was there on Ben White and 35.
I see.
And that's like the actual like big dance floor. Everybody's like, just have their own circles.
I remember that.
And we ran into Tyrone and Eric, and it was a pretty interesting moment because it was like there were South Side breakers, and I was still representing North Side because I stayed in North Side when I was born until about 13. And 13, I transferred to the South Side. So things were a little different because of style, flavor. Some cats had banks coming down, you know what I mean, with their dyed hair. So it was definitely a different, pull to me because I came from the hip-hop era. And the reason I say that is because my brother was always like Daz Effects, Rakim, Nas,
East Coast.
It's really right there. So I was like, that's what I represent. And when I saw them, it was really cool because the teen world was where it really spun because I saw that the cats didn't have 90s. They didn't have K-kicks. They didn't have like any kind of acrobatic movement or whatever it was. So we would take the basics and we would take the power style cats and we would put it together at Dance Across Texas at a cypher, and we would see who was hot. It was battles going on. Things were just so heated right then and there. So people were like, Floor Master, we won't get you. At the time, I was CBS, Can't Be Stopped, City Bomb Squad, the list goes on. And we were just like battle. And they looked at me and they were like, man, they just knew that they just couldn't hold me down at all. I was just like this unleashed beast from North Austin. Like,
Just
you
a
don't know
beast
where
that
this
goes
energy.
up.
This energy's been going on since 8, and now we're like 14, 15 years old. And Tyrone and again Eric, they're floor masters. They're
Aguilar
like,
brothers, I believe. Jacob
that?
and Jonathan, right?
Jacob Jonathan too. Yeah. They were Boogie Tribe though. That was a little later again as
yeah.
well, man. So yeah, it was cool, man. And then after that, we were like, yo, y'all want to battle more? And their floor masters were just so hungry, man. They were so hungry. They were just like, yeah, we want to battle you, man. And I was like, cool, you're gonna battle my squad, CBS. That day, they were like, we're gonna go to the warehouse. The warehouse was like an abandoned warehouse.
Ben White.
Ben White and like St. Elmo.
Yeah.
It was an abandoned warehouse. I'm talking about. It was like. There was nothing in there. It was just a DJ, a keg, and I remember a big ass like white Bronco vehicle, and then it was a linoleum piece. The linoleum must have been like 10 by 10.
Yeah.
And then floor masters show up after Dance Cross Texas. I don't know how I got to get in the warehouse, but somehow I like paged. Back in the days we were doing pagers, before the cell phones. And I paged my brother. I was like 911, and then he like hit me back up at the payphone at Dance Across Texas. I was like, these cats want to battle, like after hour style. It's already like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and the club's already closing because it's teen dance time. So they were like, yo, let's go ahead and go to the warehouse. So I told them, let's go to the warehouse and battle. Okay. Therefore, they went. I didn't even think they were gonna go. I got snuck into that warehouse.
She showed up.
Yeah, we were there just practicing, and then we were just waiting for them to show up. They were really gonna show up, and they did. They came through the door. I was bugging out. I was like, oh man, dude, this is like Slaughterhouse now, because I got my whole crew now. At Dance Cross Texas, it wasn't my whole crew. It was really just me, a guy named Gus. Who else, man? It wasn't really I didn't really have a squad at the Teen World because my crew were older than me already.
I see.
You know what I mean? They were older than me, so it made me a little bit more wiser about what I wanted to do as far as like choices and decisions.
True.
And that therefore I was lucky enough to have like someone that was already ahead of the game to help me understand. And
they keep you off the street also.
Yeah,
rather than getting caught up in some trouble.
Yeah.
And those days gangs were big.
Yeah,
in Austin.
back then it was real big because I was again, moved to my dad's house and I got transferred schools, and I went from a really nice, like, I guess, a good school versus a straight up like hood school. Like everything got real. It was like Crips and Bloods, and I was like, oh snap, dude! Like I'm not ready for this because I don't even know what this means. Everybody got the red colors, everybody got the blue colors, and then they had the Latin Kings wearing the gold colors, and then that STBC rocking their thing, and it was just like. How do I fit in this world here?
KT?
Yeah, all that, And I was like, how do I fit in this world? And then, I really couldn't. I tried to, but I know when the weekends came, I was ready to hit the clubs, the teen dance floors to, put all that motion out and be like, yo, because we would practice during the week.
Yo-yos, remember yo-yos?
Yo-yos, man. Friday nights, baby. We go out there support DJ, Martin, the hitman.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Duty Q was out there doing his thing. So like Tuesdays, Thursdays, we would like practice. So my family would like take me back to Austin because we were living way out in Del Valley, and they were like, all right, go get your practice on for a couple of hours. And shout out to Buck Rods, Bboy City. He developed a really cool community space for us to practice from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Saragossa Rec on 7th Street.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
And then we had the South Austin Rec too as well. So Buck Rods would set up all that for us, and we took advantage of those resources.
Yeah.
So we had all these up and coming b-boys. Everybody was just like rocking with their style, and it was a cool era, And then when the weekends came, that's when we hit yo-yos. We hit Dance Cross Texas, San Jose Church, and then I was like, man, we got to bloom this up somehow. And then about 16, Alien Squad was born. That's when it was
Alien
like,
Squad?
yo, where'd y'all get the name Alien Squad? So me and Gus sat down, and we were just like kicking at his apartment watching Mars Attack. And we're like, man, we like those little aliens, dude. They're like, they're executing, they're blitzing. There's no way to, take over. And we just thought about it. We were like, let's go and let's do Alien Squad. And then as the days were going, we would go to Barn Creek Mall. We saw Alien shirts, and there were a big old alien here.
Yeah.
And then at night, it would glow. So we were like, yo, let's just grab some of those shirts.
What he does.
Or rock them, and they would take them out to the teen dances. And people, when they saw those alien shirts, they knew Alien Squad was in the house.
That's dope. So okay, let me ask you. The top 5 crews ever, in your opinion, that came out of Austin, Texas, Bboy Crews.
Woo!
Ever.
Top 5 crews out of Austin, Texas. Man. I mean, you definitely got to give it up to Rolando's B-Boys.
Okay.
They put a lot of work in back in the 70s. They even battled like Rocksteady Crew in New York. They got invited to battle out there.
Okay, let's say this. Let's say not our generation, but let's say from like 95
and up. Well, that's what I'm trying to get to, man. Because I mean, Austin, we got a lot of dope b-boys.
True.
But the crews.
But the actual crew at the
it's
time.
not as thick Oh, you could. I can't even do that because it's like.
At the time when they were popping, like who do you? Because we know what category, who falls in under what category or what crew.
Yeah.
But at the time, who were like the top rated crews from like 95 to let's say 2005? Who were the top rated crews in your opinion?
I guess you would definitely say Alien Squad.
Let me guess. Were you a member?
CBS.
Okay.
Capital Soul.
Yep. Havoc or Coro, were they Houston or Austin?
Houston, Texas.
Okay.
Yeah, when you say Austin, it's really tough. That's where I'm trying to get to right now. That's why I was all like, I started in the 70s and ended 2005 because that's the only 5 crews we have. We don't even have. I mean, we had, Lunatics crew.
With Auspicious.
There was Auspicious. There was a bunch of stuff going on out there. But on the level of respect that I have when it comes to like giving you that golden ticket and you deserve to be on the top 5. I can't name any of those crews you just said right now. Yeah. But just, Alien Squad, Capital Soul, and then who else? CBS. And then I would definitely put Floor Masters in there too. Yeah. And then the 5th one.
Chucky was original Floor Masters, right? Chucky Bocanegra?
Yeah, I think he was.
I think he was original Floor Masters.
Yeah, he may be, but I would just remember him from CBS, honestly.
Yeah, I think he was original Floor Masters. To be honest with you.
Cool. Yeah, that's something new to me. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, if you ever, I know he's doing whatever he's doing now. They wouldn't leave it like that.
Yeah.
But if you ever see him again,
I'll ask him for sure.
Just ask him. Say, were you original Floor Masters? Yeah. Because I'm really tight with one of his best friends from the 80s. Okay. And they grew up together, and they used to obviously dance at Pan Am Rec Center and all that. And last time I saw Chucky, we were actually at a house party on the south side. This was a couple years ago. And I just remember he started breaking and did a 90, whatever. Nice. But he's, 50 now or something like that?
He's old school, bro.
Yeah, whatever it is.
But
anyways,
before my time right there, for sure.
Okay, so at what point in your life, let me ask you this, So all the fun, all the becoming a man type of thing has happened. Teenager, reality hits, though.
Yeah.
Your
most stuff.
Work age, okay? At what point did you say, man, you know what? It'd be really cool to turn this into a job or turn it into a business or something rather than just a bunch of homies hanging out on the weekends and practicing after school, eating pizza and then going to practice, but actually saying, maybe I can actually turn this into money. Yeah. When did that bug actually hit?
I think that actually hit about, I want to say like 17. Okay. And
97-ish? What year are we talking?
Man, I can't even do numbers right now, bro. I can't even think about that right now. Well, it was 17, though, about 98, 99. Okay. And I just thought about, like, hey, man, what if I start, being a teacher and do a little part-time hip-hop instructor job, Yeah. I worked at a couple of studios all around Austin, such as Atomic Dance Factory, the Dance Spot, what else? Ballet Austin. What else? There's a couple other ones with Balance Dance Studios. There's different studios I got my feet wet in. Yeah. I just, wasn't really feeling the vibes, the culture to it because it's just when it comes to what I'm doing, it's really authentic. It's not pop. Pop's got his own little world. So hip-hop authentic is, like we talked about earlier in the conversation, East Coast. That's where it really comes from. It comes from the Bronx, South Bronx. So,
I remember something you told me, speaking of the actual, what hip-hop actually means. Yeah. It was motion and non-stop, or what was it? Well, you explained it to me some years ago, I think.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if you want to talk about the roots of hip-hop, what it is the 4 elements. Okay. So the 4 elements is breaking, DJing, graffiti, and MCing. Yeah. Those 4 right there bring the freedom into the culture. Yeah. That way it spreads out.
But it was something about... It was something about hip and hop, how those 2 words, one is like trendy, you're in motion, and the other one is like you don't stop. Or It was some years ago you explained it, but I forgot.
Yeah, I remember that term. I was talking to...
Someone came from NY. And explained to you, or I don't know, anyways.
It was a while back. I actually got that from... Bboy Ivan from shouts out to Bboy Ivan Style.
Maybe it was from him.
Yeah, he came by the studio and talked about that, and I can't remember exactly what the terms were, but it was definitely very powerful. I think it was like hip was freedom and hop was like power of tool or something like that.
Something like
but
that.
It was a good. Definitely education that he gave me because that when the 4 elements came up, we just talked about right now, and it was just something that I was like, man, I want to take this agenda, this curriculum, and somehow make it powerful. I know, when you go to dance studios, they want you to do the whole like counts 5, 6, 7, 8, and
Yeah.
I wasn't ready for that world yet, just
Yeah.
because I was still a freestyle cat as a b-boy. You spinning down your hand, you're doing numerous things. You ain't not thinking about doing choreography and doing 1, 2,
Yeah.
3. You ready to go? You on
Yeah.
fire. So that's how my name got involved actually, just because my brother JP, going back to Dance Across Texas real quick, Blitz. Blitz is like, powerful. It's like a word where you just like look at it and you just like, man, you just gotta snap on it. Just
Yeah.
get in the pocket. When I say get in the pocket, just like do it,
Yeah,
versus
yeah.
like try, like that's called like being you try, you just you there, but
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, nah, man, we gonna be in the
You full
pocket,
force.
Blitz in. So when I
So
was
what age did you pick up that name?
I was actually about 11 years old.
Really?
Yeah, and I happened at Dance Across Texas too.
Wow.
My brother was there. He was like, he came and support me on one of the teen dance events. And he was like, man, your whole style, dude, is just like, I can't even describe it. You just like blitz, you just blitz the crowd. Like because, when you watch these videos, I would do these hand spins or tricks or, windmill shoulder spins, whatever the case may be. The crowd would just disperse and come back in. It was like a heartbeat. It was just like everybody was just... And
it's a beautiful sight to
it was
see
just like,
also.
you just get back. Everybody's like, yo, me, kill the rounds. And taking that whole hip hop, elemental story, and then the blitz, and I was like, man, I need to go further than just trying to sit here and try to teach at these local dance studios.
Yeah.
So I ended up flying myself out to Freestyle Session 2001
Okay.
in California, LA. Shout out to Cross One doing his thing.
They would have B-Boy Summit out there in LA too?
Yeah. B-Boy Summit was right out there. So that was the
I
second
got
event
some of
I went
those
to.
VHS at home, I think.
Nice.
We're in my storage. In
Oh,
my store
word.
with Mr. Wiggles and a bunch of B-Boy songs. But anyways, okay. Then,
yeah. Wiggles, Kid Swift, Crazy
so
Legs.
so freestyle session, you're out there?
Yeah, I was out there just doing my thing with my crew. I brought the crew out there. I was like, we got to step out the boundaries because we would do Austin. And after Austin, we did San Marcos, New Braunfels. And then New Braunfels was a really big step, too, because it was like Generation X, the club. It was like 3 different like music rooms. So you have the Tejano, the country, and then you have the hip-hop. And we were always in the hip-hop room because we wanted to get out of Austin. We wanted to compete with talent outside of Austin.
I see what you're saying.
And
Okay.
then San Antonio came in and we started, how you would say, bashing those competitions
Yeah.
we were just on fire like that. So we decided to move on from that kind of like Texas region and go to the West Coast and see what was out there for us. And that's where everything kind of like got real because you had West Coast B-boys and B-boys out there are just like, they're all power heads. Some of them were Fuber cats. Some of just did top rock, just like standing up and just running their fashion, the wardrobe, and just looking at each other. And I was like, man, this is where it's all out. This is hip hop home here, So the crew did well. Alien Squad. We battled. We battled that one crew. I know that crew. Come on, L.A. Breakers. We battled L.A. Breakers.
snap.
Shout out to Bruin. Frankie Flav. All those
And you're
cats out there.
18, 19 maybe by this point?
Yeah, I was turning. I think I was turning like 19 at the time.
Okay.
And then when I was turning 19, that's when I was telling myself like it was time to get out of Texas and see what's out there in the world.
Yeah. And keep in mind, people, there was no Facebook, there was no Instagram,
No,
there was no
that.
YouTube.
No.
There was nothing. It was
Yeah,
just
yeah.
you've got your information on B-Boys over there.
Yeah.
How did you get it from the internet maybe
Surprisingly,
or message boards or something?
surprisingly, like we had these cats, bboyworld.com.
Yeah, I remember that.
They
Yeah.
had like a forum where you would put in like raw footage, discussion forum, new footage. Buy your headspin caps here. It was just like a store, but a forum where you do all that. So we
remember
would post
that.
our videos there. And then we would post our videos there, and then you get likes, you get comments, and all that stuff. And then I was like, all right, you know what I mean? Let's go to Freestyle Session because they posted the information on that page.
I see.
So that's how we took off the Freestyle Session. And
Yeah.
then B-Boy Summit came. So after Freestyle Session, we did a great job. We wrecked
Yeah.
it. But there was still, like, a part of, like, energy bubble that hasn't been busted yet.
I see.
And that's
Okay.
where we go back to that blitz thing. The crowd got to be shaking before we leave Cali because the crowd is shaking here in Texas already.
Yeah.
We got to bring that same kind of, math energy over there. So
Plus, they don't know you.
Yeah.
Plus, they've never seen you, so you gotta leave them something memorable.
You gotta come through because it's kind of like when you go like Eminem says, a bunch of people got one shot to an opportunity. It was that exact moment.
not miss
And
your
then
chance to blow.
My brother and I were like, man, we still want to go out. So it was like again, 18 and up. It was actually probably maybe 16 and up because it was a freestyle session after party. they had all the cats that came down. So that freestyle session, everybody came down from Texas. I'm talking about United B-Boys, Down to Rock, Habakoro. The list goes on and on and on. And then we had cats from Canada, Boogie Brats. Shout out to K-Mel, Mighty Mouse, all those cats that came down back at that time. And we got to battle Boogie Brats at the after party. This is a whole nother situation because Boogie Brats are an underground crew coming up. And then Alien Squad, we are underground crew coming up too. So B-Boy Ivan, again, was on top of one of the speakers. He had sunglasses on. He had his fedora hat on. He's like peeping the crowd because he's already got his little respect. He's already known the West Coast. So he wanted to see what was going on. And all I remember is that our crew, because the thing about our crew, man, we have a very...
So the whole crew went out there to Cali?
Yeah.
Whole aliens, what, 5, 7, 8?
It was Chili Dog, Dizzy, Golden Child, myself, and then I think we brought Ernest, we brought Jason. We had this chapter in San Antonio. That's how big Texas. I mean, Alien Squad was in Texas. We had chapters.
See. Okay.
We had chapters in San Antonio. We had chapters in Houston. So everybody was representing Alien Squad on these different cities just because the name was that respected.
That's cool.
So we took all those people out to L.A. and then So going back into what we're talking about, Club Element, the after party. It was a moment, like I said, I haven't busted out bubble yet. So I don't even know, after, you're going out of, 15 rounds. Battles are hot. It's hot in the club. Some cats are taking the shirts off because you're just in it,
Yeah, the energy's
I busted
flowing.
out a flare. When I busted out that flare, I hit that handspin, my favorite handspin, the 90. And after I drilled that 90, I probably did 3 or 4 times. This is at 1 or 2 o'clock at night. Cats are getting tired. They're like, yo, we ready to wrap it up. And I come up and just hit that and just hit it with the invert, which is your right leg in front of the left leg. You're sticking your chin in and you have your hands in a certain position and you just crunch in.
Posed it hard.
And then all of a sudden, that's when the bubble popped.
Damn.
And that's when I knew. I was like, I'm going to get Cali too now. You know what I mean? And then sooner or later, the night was already done. We already flying back to Texas. We packing our bags. B-Boy Summit 2, B-Boy Summit 2002 comes in, and then I go back out to that event, and then I was like, I'm already comfortable now, because I already made my name there. Cats already know, people are expecting me to fly in, they're like, yo, we're going to see what's up with this cat here. So, me and Golden Child actually battled together. It was a 2-on-2 battle against LA Breakers.
Okay.
So we made a rivalry with LA Breakers because that battle was so hot. And then they were like, let's bring these two. It's a 2-on-2, it's not crew on crew. So let's bring the 2-on-2 together. So we battled with each other. And again, they saw the K kicks, the handstands. Everybody's like, yo, this is wild, bro. This is wild. And then Golden Child ripped it. He was doing his loops, his elbow freezes. And he just had his own. He was from Lockhart, Texas.
Yeah.
So he just brought his own little something to the plate. He was a gymnast before that, though.
Oh,
so
okay.
Being a gymnast
that helps a lot.
Hey, man, that whole situation right there just blew it out of proportion. Because he would do round off, backflip, twist, tuck, and just stuff that cats weren't even doing that. And I was bugging out with that whole situation. I was like, all right, man, we're gonna collaborate. We're gonna do this. Therefore, after the battle, I had some Japanese photographer hit me up and he was like, hey, let me take a picture of you real quick. I just want to throw it on a magazine. I was like, oh, cool. Yeah, no worries. I'm young, dude. I'm 19 years old.
And nobody knew. It was B-Boy Pocket. No.
It was wild. So he was like, yeah, he'd stay there and then snap. And then all of a sudden he goes, this is going to go to the Dancers Delight magazine. I have no idea what's going on in Japan. I don't even know what B-Boy magazine they have. I have no idea what the culture's like. It's really early in the B-Boy prime versus what it is now in 2020. We'll get to that in a little while. But, so... Kid Swift hit me up.
Okay.
Rocksteady Crew. Original B-Boy, South Bronx. Yo, Blitz, I like what you got. What do you think about going to Canada? I was like, Canada, Ottawa. I was like, yeah, we can go out. He goes, I want you to come help me judge. I need a judge partner. I was like, all right, cool. Because I got you a plane ticket. Go get your passport. And then we got you money to get paid to be as a judge. And I was like... Tell my mom this. I'm like, yo, mom, I'm about to go to Canada right now. I'm about to go to Ottawa. It was a little tour, Ottawa.
Were you working a regular job, a little local thing at the time?
I was in and out of jobs.
Okay,
no jobs were really.
But little $8 an hour job. I mean, because you were teenager, whatever.
Yeah. The jobs, man. I mean, we tried together, but the companies didn't want me. You know what I mean? They were just like, yo, you too active. I would talk to the customers all the time. I was a cashier register at Burlington Coke Factory.
Talking real reckless.
Like, man, this dress look good. You're gonna go out tonight, aren't you? And they were just like, man, you need to cut all that out. And
walking HR case.
Yeah. So it's one of those moments where I was like, that job's not gonna work.
Yeah.
So I told my mom, I was like, hey, I'm gonna fly out to Canada and work with Kid Swift, Rocksteady Crew. I've watched this dude on Beach Street back in '88. Now I'm hanging out with him in '98. Like, what is exactly going on in this world? It's 10 years down the road now. And then he liked my showcase, the judging. We had great conversations. And then 2 months later, he hit me up again. He was like, hey, man, what do you think about going to Tokyo? And I was like, Tokyo? I was like, Japan? And I'm keeping in mind, I'm tripping. I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy just took a picture of me at B-Boy Summit and says he's gonna go put my picture at Dancers Delight in Tokyo.
Damn.
I got a call from Kid Swift saying, hey, you wanna go to Tokyo? And I'm like, how does that happen? He goes, we're gonna get you your plane ticket. We're gonna give you $2,000. 2,000 was a lot in 98.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Still is a lot now, but 2,000,
yeah.
it was a lot. Then
Especially when you're 18, 19, you're whatever old you were.
Yeah, 19, And then he was like, bring a bunch of VHS tapes with you, bring whatever merchandise you want to sell. I guarantee you, when we get there, he's going to sell out. I didn't believe him, so I took 20 tapes. I should have brought like 100 tapes.
Wow.
But I brought 20 tapes. And then we got on the plane. We met in San Diego, and we got on the plane together. The trip was probably about, I don't even know, it was a pretty good trip. It was like 9 hours, 10 hours. We talked. He talked about the history of New York. Talked about the history of Texas. Conversations was just like, it was just ongoing. I was just like, man, me and this dude really, really connect. It was really, really awesome,
That's dope.
Got to Tokyo. They had a chauffeur pick us up. They had an interpreter, help us out, our locations, checked in the hotel. Everything was different. Cars are different. Video games are different.
Yeah.
The toilets, it was 19, it was back in the day, 99, 2001. It was just like in that era where it was like flushing, as you use the restroom, like, oh, snap, what's going on? I wasn't used to that because, toilet paper America, So I got a lot of, learning experiences through that culture. And we went out to the actual B-Boy Park in Tokyo. Wow. They actually have a park called B-Boy Park.
Wow, I didn't know that.
It's 100%, dude. The festivals are insane.
But it's indoor, outdoor, like
outdoor park.
Covered, I would assume.
There's no cover. It's just outdoor park with a bunch of trees. They got a big bridge. The big bridge says B-Boy Park on it. And then when they do festivals there, they have stages there. MTV comes in, Pepsi, all big brands back in the day.
Your eyes are probably getting big,
dude. Because the idea of sharing this is like really big to me because it's like I've never seen that many people support the culture of hip hop. Because in America, we could barely get like 200, 300 people in the building. And then when you go to Japan,
thousands.
Because in America, we don't have sponsors like that. We get sponsors now. We got Red Bull, we got Monster, we working our way up.
Whatever it could be.
But they had that back in 98, 99, 2001. And then I just like seeing, we were performing on stage in front of like thousands of people. It was like Bonnaroo Fest. It was like ACL. It was like that vibe.
Damn.
19 years old.
So was that... Okay, let me ask you this. So moving on to start getting into the business aspect, would you say that was your first real, I don't want to call it paycheck, but your first check where you saw money come in from dancing?
Yeah.
Like it was your first like, yo, I can make some money off of this, okay?
Yeah.
So from that point, when did you actually, because I know, I don't know how many dance studios now, but of course, depending on the leases or the synergy with the co-tenant or co-landlord, not landlord, co-leaser, whatever it is.
Got it.
When did you take the actual step? Because obviously you've been in the game, you know what you're doing, you've made the connects, your name is out there. But now what was the final thing that you said, you know what? I'm going full force. I'm going to either open up a dance studio first or maybe rent out a space in the studio. How did that first situation happen?
Yeah, so basically based on that, I realized that flying around the world was a privilege. It's something I got to take advantage of. You're not going to get flown around the world every month, but you can. I mean, if you really like push it,
it'll come and go maybe.
But I became a father. So since I became a father, I had my son Christian.
Yep.
And it was hard for me to always like leave him because it was like, that's my baby, that's my son. So I was like, I got to figure out how to stay home but still live my life that I enjoy.
Exactly.
And still, still kind of like, have that connection where I'm happy, all around. Yeah. So I like took a break from teaching at dance studios. I took a break from traveling. And then I realized I was like, all right, cool. Like, let's go ahead and give this a hip hop shot, Okay. When I say hip hop shot, like, let's see, like, what type of alley that we can figure out and utilize. Again, I dropped out of 10th grade. I don't know if I said that earlier, but I dropped out of 10th grade because
I left in 11th, bro.
Word. You know where we at. We on the same page.
I didn't even finish. I literally said, can I go to the restroom? He said, yes. I took my pencil and I bounced.
Hey.
English, Mr. Bell, Crockett High School, because I was at Bowie, then I went to Crockett.
Okay.
But anyways, go ahead.
Yeah. So I dropped out. So I didn't really get that much education. You know, I didn't
Yep.
know much about the system. I didn't know much about anything. I just knew that I had a little money saved up.
And you just want to dance.
And I was like, let's go sign this lease and let's go see what happens. And we signed the lease.
This is what year, by the way?
This we're going fast forward. This is going to come down to probably 2009.
Okay.
2010. Yeah. And we opened up the spot called Breakdance Austin, which you've been to before. I think you brought your son there a couple of times.
What I'm trying to remember which location was.
That was 35 in Old Wharf. So
yes,
right by
yes.
downtown Austin, Texas, pretty
Yes,
much.
yes.
We had that spot, and after we opened that spot up, I was like, yo, let's make it happen. So we put graffiti on the walls. We, advertised. We had a good, amount of parents that supported it,
Okay.
but it wasn't exactly like what I imagined it being. And I think a lot of that comes into.
But were you the only one on the lease, or you had like some partners that?
I did. I had
Okay.
a partner at Wagner. He represents Kapawata, Makulule, and we just wanted to combine and do like breaking in Kapawata school.
Oh, hold on. You're talking about the big spot on the highway.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I think I remember something prior to that, but it's all good though.
The ones prior to that, I was actually just renting dance studios by the hour.
Okay,
It was
yeah.
in
So
my
that's what it
actual
is. That
space.
okay. I get okay. So now let me just be
Yeah.
clear. So everything prior was just like rent this room on Monday from 6 to 9 or whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
So your biggest venture, biggest endeavor, we'll say biggest financial contractual obligation, we'll call it, was right there on the feeder road of I-35, I believe, between Old Torf and Stasny, maybe something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that was a big one. I do remember that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happened there?
Yeah, so I did a couple of wrong things. First of all, a guy I signed a lease with, he was in a relationship, so his wife was supposed to be helping us kind of like interpret the whole situation because he didn't speak English.
Oh,
he only
snap.
spoke Portuguese.
I
So
see.
I was like, but we would kind of like work together for a couple of months before
Yeah.
we signed the lease. So I was like hoping that everything's gonna work
Yeah,
out.
it'll be smooth.
And
Assumed.
some of the people that would support his business were people that were part of the breaking scene, such as
I see.
Santos, such as Romeo,
Yep.
such as just different cats that were around. So I was like, I think we could probably mix this culture.
We'll figure it
together.
out. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Yeah.
So it didn't go that way. It went totally opposite.
Wow.
And I wanted to have like more of a school where we have capoeira classes, breaking classes going on the same day. He wanted to have his own days, Monday, Wednesday, Friday,
Where he could use everything.
all
I
day
see.
long, whatever he wants to do. And then I have my days Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays.
I see.
And I still have those days to this day because it works best for my actual,
Yeah.
program. So therefore, fast forward all that, it just, didn't work out. I spent, over 130 grand on the lease, and I learned a lot. You know what I mean? It hit me in the heart. I'm still like, about it, but
'cause
that's how you learn, though. From
Yeah. That place
mistakes.
has to be at least what, 8,000 a month. It was a big spot, dude.
Yeah, it was big, man. I mean, 8,000 to everything. I'm talking about with utilities,
Triple
I'm talking about
net or
rent,
whatever they call it, all that, yeah.
all that, teacher salaries, all that, man.
I
between the
remember that.
lines.
I've been there numerous. Yeah, a few times, 3, 4 times. I don't remember, but numerous times. Yeah.
And then I definitely got into a dark space,
Okay.
and I started realizing that I wasn't happy with it. And the capoeira partner, he was definitely down to keep on going, but my heart was just telling me that, hey, man, this is time to like switch it up, man, because
Your intuition said,
yeah,
cut
it's
it.
just like I was just we're not happy about a product. It's probably not the best thing to do.
Yeah.
Because it's like you're making yourself go into that moment, and you are an actual artist, an entrepreneur, so you should definitely design something that works best, that fits
I see.
your criteria.
Yes.
And that's what I did. I was like, all right, I hit up the guy that ran that whole spot, the landlord, and he was like, are you sure you want to, drop out the lease? And I was like, I mean, I'm pretty sure, but I want to keep the space going, but I just don't see any bright light out of it, and I'm ready to move on with my life. And then he
Yeah.
was like, okay, that's it. And I was like, what do you mean that's it? There's no fees or anything? Is it gonna go on my credit, or what's gonna happen now? And he goes, nothing. Just just give me the keys, and you just get your stuff out, and you're good to go.
You got the best deal in the the
Yeah.
history of Austin business, bro.
It was a tough deal.
No, but to be able to walk away from something, so they didn't charge you none lately. I mean, I don't want to
Yeah.
get too personal with it, but
Yeah.
but
no, it's good. I mean,
but it could have been worse for you. Put it like that.
it could have been worse. It could have been where I had about a remaining a year lease on it. Since I had a year lease on it, then
Yeah.
basically I still had to owe like about I think I was under like 90,000.
I see. Okay, yeah. I don't want to get too in detail with it,
But hey, man, it's
but
all good.
but
'Cause
financially, you did lose. We'll just say.
a lot of money.
Okay, yeah, we'll just leave it like that. But okay, so with that being said and done, what experience did you have now for the next spot? Because I don't currently I know what you do, but I don't know the dynamics of it,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to get into contracts and all this and that. But have you opened up your own spot after that one?
Yeah, so I thought about opening up spots.
Okay.
And looked at a bunch of warehouses, studio spaces to have my own official spot. Still in the works. So
Okay.
what I did was let's be smart now.
Yeah,
let's get
yeah.
wise. Let's like wake up. Like it's time, man. You wasted hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Well, it happens.
Are you still gonna do this, or
Yeah.
what do you want to do? So a lot of my mind was based on like I wanted to move to New York. I wanted to move to the West Coast and kind of just get away from this whole business reality thing going.
Yeah.
But my heart told me that I wanted to keep Austin going.
I see.
I see a future in Austin where the break scene is like very, very like just. It's
a new generation though too.
The
whole new generation to tap
yeah.
into.
And the fitness behind it, the strength and conditioning, and the
Yes.
social awareness, and the bullying that's going on all around in the world and stuff like that. I mean, breaking has its best outlet of it because it's just you get to talk to other kids that are from other neighborhoods, communities,
Yeah.
and then y'all all get to rock and do shows,
Yep.
halftime shows for the Spurs,
And nobody
Longhorns.
looks at color. That's one of the cool things is
Yeah.
when
It's
you're
diversity,
breaking.
man.
It doesn't matter if you're a rich kid from Westlake, if you're a poor kid from Meadowbrook or whatever.
it's nothing
if you're
about that when
black,
you come to
brown,
the
Asian.
Yeah.
When you've got what I've learned in life, when you have mutual music going on,
Yeah.
and it could be what's the name, Roddy Ricch song or whoever it could be.
Yeah.
You got one of those tracks playing, a white kid, a brown kid, an Asian kid, doesn't matter. And you're both into the same thing. You don't look at color no more. You don't look at social class anymore.
Yeah.
You
I
know
mean,
what I'm
that's
saying?
the whole thing about hip hop. That's really cool about it because it's like there's no place for racists.
Exactly.
It's just freedom. It's just
exactly.
culture tribes.
I like how you
getting
said
together,
that.
man. And when you step on that floor, you walk in that door, music's on, DJs are playing. I have DJs at all my sessions now. So that inspires it even more because they'll be like, yo, the DJ's cutting it up, ripping it up. Kids coming in, busting back spins. Some are doing like 30-second, 100-second handstands.
Wow.
Everybody's just kind of doing, it's like a little, mini gym, you know what I mean? You just go in there and get your power hour out,
Yeah.
So going back to what you're talking about, so I didn't actually pick up a location. I actually just said, let me go ahead and go back to what I was doing before, actually signing a lease.
Getting
rent
the rooms
space.
in. I see.
So now I turned it around. So instead of doing like 8,000, out, I'm only doing 1,000.
Yeah,
And
whatever it
now
could be.
I'm getting 7,000 pocket.
Yeah.
So with that being said, that means I'm happier. Because
Exactly.
I have 7,000 in my pocket. Before I was using that to pay everything out at my own spot.
Yep.
So
You're not stuck for a 2 or 3 year lease where you have to come up with $8,000 a month.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
And then you got some studios that are like, yo, we're going to keep it at this amount. But what I did, I found some shortcuts. So the shortcuts I did, I'm going to share with y'all.
Tell
because
us the
it's like,
secrets. Hold on.
Yo,
We're
I want to share with
listening.
y'all. So basically, the cool thing is like, go find places that already are event centers.
Okay.
Most of those event centers don't have anything during the week.
Yes.
So that means they only booked on the weekends.
Yep.
The weekends are
Quinceañeras, weddings,
bar
bar
mitzvahs, quinceañeras, weddings, baby
Okay.
showers. The list goes on and on and on. So I found a spot that this cat is already making 20. He charges 7,000, 8,000 on Saturdays.
Okay.
Another 5,000 on Fridays. Another 4,000 on Sundays. So he's pocketing 20, 25,000 plus 4 weekends in a row. That's a what? $200,000. Was that 25?
Come on,
25?
whatever it is.
Yeah, 100,000. But he's booked till 2022.
Wow.
So the weekdays, there's nothing going on. It's completely silent.
Yeah.
So he got me a deal. So I got the deal for, I'm not going to say how much.
Yeah.
but it's
Play a
beautiful-
price.
It's a beautiful price. That price right there has changed my life. Now I'm living where I always wanted to be.
Yeah.
Where I'm healthy. I'm running. I'm exercising.
Yeah.
I got a beautiful dog, Sucre. He's a red coat
I
Siberian
remember
Husky.
Sugar when he was baby,
And,
yeah.
You know what I mean? I got the community. We got about 65 kids. When I first leased that spot we were talking about on the side of 35 Breakdance Austin, I only had like 13, maybe 18 kids. Now I'm at 65.
Wow.
Now we got a North Austin location. I'm working at a Montessori school. So
That's
I
cool.
built another 20 families out there. So
Yeah.
I want to bring in more staff, but it's hard to bring in more staff because not a lot of b-boys or even like dancers background can deal with that kind of energy with these kids that are 4 or 5 years old. They don't know how to
Yeah,
teach.
they don't have patience either.
So I want to hold a training staff one day for these dancers so that way they have the opportunity. But a lot of times it's hard to even do that because these dancers are late or they don't have cars or they just want to like, live their own. I'm going to go to b-boy practice session. I'm going to go to dance practice session. It's not on a business state of mind. That's where we're lacking at as dancers and b-boys and b-girls. And that's what I want to try to do is educate them, let them know that you can live a luxurious life. These NBA players, NFL players, they get paid millions and millions of dollars, but I know they work their bodies off hard. Just same as a dancer, same as a b-boy, same as a b-girl. But the thing is that we don't have that, like, that push, that drive when it comes to business because we're scared to get in business. We just want to hit the ciphers. We want to hit the breaking circles. You want to just get, like, a sponsorship from Red Bull.
They want to be...
And then, you get some free gear, get some free drinks, you put it up, whatever it is.
They're
There's
good,
no
they're
money
happy.
in the bank, though. But Red Bull's making marketing off of you. They're making dollars off of you. And that's something that I realized that I didn't want to be involved with. I mean, I could be sponsored by whatever sponsors, but I was like, you know what? I want to try my own thing. If Nike could do it, Under Armour can do it, Adidas could do it, Saucony, Asics could do it. But hey, they didn't start like last year. They didn't start 10 years ago. They started way back. So that's why they got history behind it. And then I thought about it. I was like, man, I'm gonna connect these kids on some dope stuff. How am I gonna do that? I want to start my own brand. Break Austin. Nah, we already been there 6 years ago. We already don't want to go back to the past. We want to start fresh and start new. So what is it, Blitz? What are you going to do? I was like, man, I like the brand. Blitz Freestyle. Blitz Freestyle is dope. Blitz Freestyle, yo, go freestyle. Blitz, go. But I don't want to be about Blitz Freestyle. I don't want to be about Break Austin. I want to be about like the live, the culture, the awareness, the fitness, the everything that comes in this evolution. What is it? It's called Stay Active, baby. And that's where I'm at right now. I got my hoodie on, Stay Active.
I like
so we got
that.
sweatpants, we got shirts, we got hoodies. We're working on, running hats. We got the whole thing going now. So now these kids are training 65 students. I tell them, hey, if y'all want to get up on the, front row, we're going to go with halftime shows. And then that's what they crave for the most. The kids are hungry. They're like, yo, man, if I make it good, I'm going to go to that halftime show. Oh, man, it's on this date. It's at that time. I'm going to go with these cats. These
Even
cats have been
with
breaking for 2
Globetrotters, I think, right? When they've come to the Frank Irwin Center.
Yeah, Globetrotters too. Yeah, that was all part of the resume. And I learned that, how to utilize Stay Active versus just because I was real like I wouldn't say secretive, but I was more like just filtered in a certain area what I was considered just break Austin. I was like, I don't want to do that because I break, but my life is more than breaking. My life is like again, I was telling you, I love running, I love playing tennis, I love cycling, all these, I love canoeing, kayaking, you give me every kind of activity, I'm never going to say no to it because I'm open to experiences. And that's where Stay Active is. It's a universal brand, unisex brand, and the way I thought about it was like, how am I going to push it and where are we going to go with this? So we go back into the halftime show, so I got Plan A, Plan B, Plan C, and all those Plan A's and Plan B's and C's, those are all groups of kids between the ages of 4 to 12 years old to have an opportunity to perform at these halftime shows, but they rock the Stay Active gear. Now the Stay Active gear is not just staying inside the dance studio. It's not staying at just a breaking dance competition. It's on the actual Jumbotron over there where thousands of people are watching. I'm talking about ESPN games, Kansas versus Texas.
That's dope.
I'm talking about like the Lakers versus the Spurs. I'm talking about like, yo, that's the free publicity I'm getting. They pay us to go out. They're like, hey, we're going to give you this amount of money. We want you to bring your kids out and rock a halftime show. The kids are practicing, training, hard. Let's get this cool hoodie time. Boom. Now I got free advertising moving around. Now the actual brand is going viral. Now I'm starting to build a biography of what this story is about. It comes from an 8-year-old kid that was in mainstream, got traded to special education. He ain't got nothing, but he used dance to give him a solution and move forward to a team dance world. And boom, yo, let's go to California. Yo, let's go around the world. Now, what is it? I don't want to stay in one area. I want to be a whole wide brand. Stay active. So my whole goal with Stay Active is to officially have it become a Nike, Under Armour. And then now that, pocketing a lot of money, I'm starting to live, a nice life, a luxurious life. I finally live in one of these condos downtown I've always dreamed about. Because as a runner, we're like, oh, man, that's a nice place, man. But, I don't think I could make it there, man. But, it's just an idea. It's
now
just
you
a
can
dream.
live in that area.
And you just go and go and go and go. And then I worked my way up from falling apart when I was just on a scooter. I was on a bike. First of all, it was like a nice swing bike, road bike, getting me back and forth from South to North Austin, and then build up to a Honda Accord, and then build up to an Acura TSX, and then I built up to a Cadillac SRX, and then now I'm about to move up to a Tesla. And
That's
then
cool.
now getting that and using that material to share with everybody and say, dude, you're the same thing in my position, but I'm here to help you out. So that way you don't have to go through the stuff that I went through.
Yes, yes.
Let's cut through the shortcuts. Let's make it happen. So,
And, you know, it's funny. One thing that, just to cut you off,
Yeah,
because this is actually very important for a lot of the people listening, because obviously this show is about brands and business, but also a passion that somebody has ties into this. But one thing that I've never told you this personally, but I want to say it now because it's a very valid point. I've known you, I don't know, 20, whatever years, you know, a lot of years we'll say. But one thing that I've never heard you talk about is money, okay? It's always been about the passion.
of course.
Okay? It's never been about, bro, I made $1,000 this week or $3,000.
Yeah.
So when you talk to someone about what they're doing and you never hear about how much they're making, that's the beautiful thing.
Yeah,
so
it
now you're able to reap the rewards at a different level because of all the years that you stayed planting those
All
seeds.
the years that I reaped through and my whole heart broke, relationships and fell apart.
Everything, regardless of what it is,
so-
But to me, it means a lot because, and I want people to see this, obviously, especially parents that, you know, we talked for, you know, maybe an hour now, whatever it is, and not one thing was about how much money. Well, of course, the first check that came in from the judging or whatever, but never once did you say, I'm doing this for money.
Yeah. It's never
all-
about the money, and all the money
Exactly,
that I
and that's
do.
what I respect about you
And all the money that I've been talking about the past, like, you know, 10 minutes, 7,000, whatever it is that I'm actually pocketing, I'm pocketing that because that's actually going back into the brand.
Yeah.
which is
It's just
stay
a reality.
active.
It's a reality of being in business. But no. What I'm not saying it like that. What I'm saying is obviously is you've never talked about how much money you're making or if I can do this and if I can get, because there's a lot of people that only want to get sponsored because somebody else will pay for their life. Somebody else, like all these BMX guys in Austin, for example. I mean, I know many from back in the day when I'd go to their house because my brother used to live with two very prominent BMX guys here from Austin, and they had pallets of Red Bull and all that, or a Monster, whatever it was. And anyways, but that's what I really respect about you is that you're doing it because it's something you love. It's a passion, and then now you can profit off of it, but you've also put in 25 whatever years worth of grind into it that a lot of people don't see. They might just see Blitz now and they say, oh, he's got this, he got that. Yeah, but you don't know the 20-25 years prior to that.
I came from a dark side, dark
Yeah,
space
but I
and
respect you
stuff
for that. That's one thing
thanks,
I really
man.
respect about you.
It's not easy, man. It's not easy living this life. I mean, I struggle, I cry. I mean, I'm just a normal human being.
Yep, it's
and,
reality.
It's part of it. It's part of my soul. But I'm thankful that the God actually held me up and giving me opportunity to live the life that I'm living now. And I would never use money or anything like that to be like, yo, here it is. But I'm happy where, you know, if Dan asks me, hey, do you think I could borrow $100? I'll give you $100, man. Just because, you know, I want to help people. I don't want people to be, you know, failures in their life because I know what it feels like to be a failure. And I support anyone, you know what I mean? If you're, you know, a homeless person trying to come up from the streets and trying to work out, I'm gonna throw you a couple of tacos. You know, if you're a barber, and you know, this guy yesterday gave me a haircut. You know, he was like telling me a story about how he fell apart. He got into a drug situation, and then he went to school in Elgin, and then he came back and became a barber. 10 years later, he held his life back 10 years, and I was like, man, dude, that's a crazy story. You got places, you got 2 kids that he's trying to worry about, and then, you know, the haircut was just like, you know, a very cheap price, and then I just threw him an enormous, I'm not gonna get into an enormous tip, and then he looked at me and he was like, I was like, dude, I'm just saying, man, we all gotta take care of each other, man. If we don't take care of each other, then there's no us, man.
Yeah, very true. Well, it's been a beautiful conversation, and I know we can get into more and more, but we're out of time right now. When it comes to breaking, what a lot of people don't know is breaking is my first love to begin with because I got into it 90. We moved back from Mexico in 95, in 95-ish, and when I said earlier, I don't know if you know this or not, I was going to Bowie High School, and then a friend of mine called me up. Back then, it was Mark Navarro was there. Eric, I forget what his last. He had some really clean flares, kind of Asian looking. He lived off of Buckingham. Buckingham to say whatever. Yeah. Anyways, I was going to Bowie, and a friend of mine said, "Bro, if you go to Crockett, they have a breakdance class." And I was like, "What?" Well, back in the 90s, in the late 90s,
club for sure.
Yeah, you could sign a waiver and you could take basically breakdancing as an elective.
They had it at Johnson High School too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I literally left Bowie High School to go to Crockett High School and to just break, and then eventually went from 1 period to 2 periods to skip the 3rd period, and then before you know it was just all about breakdancing. But anyways, to close it out, is there any last words of inspiration, recommendation, whether it's business, personal, fitness, whatever it could be, that you want to pass on and leave with the people listening?
I mean, number one is for sure be true to yourself.
Yeah.
And then as far as like, advice, just, stay active and accept everybody around you, regardless of whatever circumstances are going on, whether it's bad or good. Never going to know, like, you're going to see them tomorrow or not.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, when it comes to, like, just being active in the fitness world, just, try to, some people are, like, so overweight, they, like, they don't even want to try to, like, even try to get in that zone. And I'm like, dude, you can do it, just start off with half a mile.
Yeah.
That's what happened to me. I was, like, a little overweight.
Well, there's 2 big boys from Houston that break.
Yeah.
Heavyweights, I think they call themselves.
Yeah, heavyweights. So, you could do either or, but at the same time, it's like, you got to take care of yourself.
Eventually. Get on keto or something.
Yeah. I mean, just follow your dreams. Be passionate about what you do. Dedication, loyalty, and confidence is way up there in the bracket as far as like if you want to really achieve what your plan is, whatever your plan is. I know I started off with an 8-year plan, so it's good to have 8-year plans. Right now I'm on a 22-step program, and I'm trying to figure that out because I eventually want to open up my own place again, which is a Stay Active retail shop.
That's dope.
So on the front side, we all like to retail, hoodies and, all the apparel. And then the back side, you got your Stay Active fitness classes. So like dance classes, breaking, training. I got some buddies of mine that run, they're like brand ambassadors for sure. And they do like stretch labs, where they stretch people and then, just all kinds of programs. So yeah, man, just follow your dreams and, live life to the fullest because, tomorrow's never promised. And
very true.
Keep your family close to you. Keep your friends close to you. The ones that are good and that are toxic, the ones that just spite you or trying to hold you back from your plans, stay far away from that because I went through all that. And I think that was part of the first 10 years of my business that I learned about a lot because I was into like just keeping my best friends close to me and having them part of the business. And it was not a great idea. Yeah. So you need to find your own circle of friends that are very like business oriented, that are in the plan. They know exactly the answers that you need or the people that you need to talk to. So just be real, be true to yourself, and
yeah, very good. And one thing he said I like because sometimes you need people around you that will disagree with you because unfortunately when you have the girlfriend or the boyfriend or the homies or the buddies or whatever, they it's a good idea, but eventually you need someone to say, nah dude, that sucks. No, that's not gonna work. Let me tell you why. And as humans, we don't want to hear those conversations, but we do need people close to us to kind of give us a little smack on the face and tell us reality of of X, Y, and Z. But anyways, you guys know that I bring y'all sometimes very high energy people, and I'm glad Blitz is one of those high energy people because me and him vibe the same. We're just go. And like, subscribe. Of course, his info is right here on the screen. And we will catch you on another episode of The Heat Tank.
Hey. Peace.